Hello, Terry, and welcome to
Hump Day.
Indeed, Hump Day. It is indeed Camel Day, maybe, right?
That's right.
Made famous by the folks at Geico. So easy. It's like horse racing. Even a caveman like Terry and I sometimes can do it. Yesterday, unfortunately, we just kept one horse kept messing us up along the path to hitting some of those pick fours. But isn't that the name of the game?
It is. It is. I thought you were going to get that first pick four because your six was out front by like 3-4 lengths halfway down the stretch, and then he just ran out of gas and the other one's passed.
Yeah, those fractions were a little bit on the faster side. I would like to see him run a little bit slower.
Yep.
My pet peeve, going out to the front by yourself and running too fast. It never seems to be the way to the winner's circle.
Oh.
Indeed. I don't know what the hell's going on, Terry. I don't know. I tell you, you miss a day, you miss a couple of days. Sean and Jamie take control of Horse Center. And the next thing you know, you tune in and they're talking about horse testicles. What the hell is going on?
That cracked me up. That cracked me up. I don't know. I guess the guest, Andy, she had talked about that on TVG, and she was afraid she'd get fired, but because she didn't even think, she said it just came out. So.
Yeah, that was actually kind of funny, but I never knew this. Apparently, it's common knowledge within the horse racing industry that one of the physical attributes that you want to pay attention to, particularly, I guess, or only for male horses, is their testicles. If she said if one is way up there and one's way down here, then she said, I'm never, ever going to bet that horse. So if you want a good laugh, but also a fantastic show, and Jamie's doing a wonderful job. MCing. So you know how everybody's got a nickname around here? She's going to go from Jamie Martinez to MC Martinez because she's doing a wonderful job managing the show.
Oh, yeah. She's really good. I really like her shows. So not that I don't like yours. Yours are great, too.
Yeah. Go ahead, Terry. You know, I used to sing a song to my kid when you go to sleep. The wheels on the bus go round and round.
Yeah.
I got to change it for you and Sean. The wheels on the bus go pound and pound. Running right over me, you guys. And then our Eddie C, and Chris P got together with NYRA's, Naira's, Davis Klein for a good conversation there too. So a lot of great stuff right here on YouTube for the Horse Racing Radar channel. To make sure you don't miss any of it, and you go back and watch the Andy Biacone interview, which I promise you will make you laugh. You can head on, subscribe here on YouTube at Horse Racing Radar TV. Hit the like button if you like what you see. Also, tell your friends about us and hit the bell so you're notified when we go live. You can also keep along with what we're doing on our social sites at Horse Race, the number 2 day. You see him on the scroll bar down there below. Just follow us there. Our Swiss Army Sean, who takes care of everything, will make sure that you're up to date, usually asks some entertaining questions, and lets you know the upcoming schedule of guests. And we have a lot of good guests lined up for, as always, Terry.
That's true. Yeah. We always have good ones.
Now we have to do our part, Terry, and that's to have good picks lined up.
Yep.
We had a decent day yesterday. I feel like we got a lot of exactas, a lot of trifectas in our pick three, in our 3 picks, our 4 picks.
Yeah.
Colonial Downs just had a difficult time streaming them all together necessarily. So the first race today, Terry, I'm just going to close a few things real quick on my computer screen here so that I'm not clicking too many things at the same time, which is happens when I don't close down open Word documents and the like. Okay, so race number 1 at Saratoga, Terry. It is this is one of your stuff. This is one of those 2.5 mile, 2 1/16 miles on the turf. This is a jumper, 75 grand race for the Jonathan Kaiser Novice Stakes. Let me just run through my picks real quick. I got the 3, the 5, the 7, and the 6. You long shot of the first race, Terry? Is that right?
I think I am. Yeah.
On these jumpers?
Let me see. Is that the long shot?
I didn't notice that, but maybe you did.
Let's see here.
Where was it supposed to be?
It's a 6-1 shot. So
you're going to long shot the jumpers. Boy, Terry's stepping off the edge today. First, we're talking about testicles on Horse Center, and now we're long shotting jumpers. I don't know. This place has gone out of control.
Well, my horse, my last time I picked in this race, I won, and it paid, I don't know, $12 or $14. So that wasn't bad. So anyway, I like the number 1, Perfect Taptino. He won his last race and likes the turf, winning 7 out of 25 starts. And then number 5, How Ya Bud. He won his debut race as a heavily favored bet favorite and can just turn around and repeat again. Number 7, Burn the Evidence, finished second in his debut race. And number 3, Going Country. He likes the turf, finishing the money in 4 out of 6 starts, and he won 2 of those starts.
That's what you're going to be asking me to do, Terry, after today. You're going to ask me to burn the evidence after making this one horse, the jumper, your best bet of the day. I just went 3, 5, 7, 6. Honestly, I don't care how that race goes, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I do care for you, Terry, because I want you to collect on your long shot. But as far as I'm concerned in race number 1, whatever happens, happens.
Okay.
Race number 2. All right, now we're getting to real horse racing, flat racing. 6 furlongs, maiden claiming $40,000 for a purse of $50,000. And at the distance so far at the Saratoga meet, they've run 29 times, 26 of which were won by horses that have early speed. 8 went wire to wire. There is an outside in post position bias, and you get a little bit of underperformance if you have a 1, a 2, or a 3 as your silk apron. And as we've been doing lately, we have our horse racing telestrator, Terry, for race number 2. You see here that we have the 1A. So I got, again, these little check marks and stuff and minus signals. This is not a negative. This just means that the horse is running at the same level that it ran at before. This is a drop in class. If you've been here enough, you know that on these maiden races, especially in the claiming types, I think the movement up or down is equally as important, or can be, as the horse's ability. We have a couple of horses squared off. That means, based upon their running styles, I believe they'll get a running style that fits them or hits in their comfort zone. You got the 7 and the 4, and then the 4 horse is one that has a drop in class, though. So the 7 and the 4 might be ones that are contenders in here, Terry. Who do you think your main contenders are?
I like number 1A, Glittering Prize. She ran second versus similar in her last race, receiving the highest last speed rating, and has a jockey-trainer combination in the last 14 days. Has been in the money 4 out of 6 times, winning 2 of those starts. Number 7 is my second choice, Darn That Song. She finished third in her last race and switches to high percentage winning jockey. My third pick's number 8, Dorothy's the Boss. She can improve while returning to
That's
dirt.
not Honey Bunny's first name, is it?
No, her name's Beverly. Anyway.
Well, Beverly's the boss, probably.
That's
too,
right. Beverly's the boss. Beverly the boss. She can improve while returning to dirt. Her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. And the trainer wins 34% of the time when bringing back a beaten favorite to race again. And then number 6, my fourth choice, Frosty Invasion. She finished third versus Tougher in the last race, drops in class today, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. She's actually tied with Beverly Dorothy.
See, Beverly is the boss. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to play Dorothy's the boss as my top pick. Last race had much better fractions. I expect you'll see some continued improvement in round 2 off the bench. Was the favorite, did get beat, but trainer John Kimmel rebounds at 34% the next time around the track. The horse that disappointed as the public's choice. 1A, Glittering Prize, did run the top last race speed figure. Off the bench, though, like today, hasn't been her strong suit. So I think likely to be a vulnerable favorite in here. Number 7, Darn That Song. Well, this is, speaking of song, this is a Bob Dylan horse all the way. Ran 9 times, has 5/3, so yet to find the winner's circle. At the distance, 6 times, 4/3. Has a bullet workout since that last race. Nice improvement in its 2 and 4 furlong numbers in that last race. And finally, Ace Up Her Sleeve is a left arrow horse, has some early pace and gets some first-time Lasix. And I'm a big fan of the left arrow horses. A lot of them hit yesterday, and I'm a big fan of horses that have early pace and also catch some Lasix in there, Terry.
That's right.
Race number 3 is a 6 furlong, claiming $25,000 race for a purse of 60 grand. So they're running for a little bit of money here. So far at 6 furlongs, as I mentioned, 29 races, almost all of them won by horses that were in the first 3 at the first call. 8 of the 29 took them from gate to wire. Probably don't want to have a 1, 2, or 3. Everything else is pretty fair. And of course, what do? Don't have a 1, 2, or 3. And I best bet the 2 horse in here, Terry, because I don't do anything that makes any sense. Race number 2 The reason why I do was our first scratch of the day on a day where it's going to be sunny and warm. So the track is fast and the turf is firm. But you see here on the 2-horse is squared.
Yeah.
And a lot of horses here, Terry, that want to be on the front because this is how they've won races in the past. So in this situation, when you have a lot of horses in the field that want the lead, need the lead to win, you want the speed of the speed, which is the way I call it. And here you see a little plus mark, meaning the 2-horse at the 4 furlong marker has a 5-point pace advantage. So after about a half a mile, the 2-horse should have about a 1-length lead, just needs to hang on for another quarter of a mile, and that's your winner. That's why I made Pinterest. I think that's the name of the horse, Pin something or another. My Pin Track, my best bet of the day. How about for you? You like that 2-horse too?
I do like the 2-horse also, Print Track. He finished in the money in 3 out of the 5 starts this year, winning one of those, switches to a high percentage winning jockey, and the trainer wins 26% of the time when bringing back a beaten favorite to race again. And then my second choice, number 5, Never Early. He has won 3 out of his last 6 races, has the highest last speed rating, has the highest speed fare at today's distance, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. And then my third pick's number 6, Letty. He finished third versus similar in his last race while experiencing trouble during the race. He can improve with Lasix being added and has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 26% of the time when he uses Lasix for the first time. And then number 3 is my fourth pick, Ready to March, finished second in his last race and has a jockey in the last 7 days who's been in the money 8 out of 18 starts and won 5 of those.
We have the same picks in the same exact order for many of the same reasons. I do think the 5 is likely to be forwardly placed. Did run the top last race. Speed figure, gets a weight break. Number 6, Letty, maiden win was wire to wire, gets first time Lasix. I already mentioned I like the speed and the Lasix, and as you mentioned, the 3-horse. It's a pretty good jockey in terms of being hot at the right moment. Finally, we're going to move on to, not finally, but race number 4, Terry, is the next race on the card here. This was 1 mile. It is 1 mile on the inner turf, claiming $25,000 for a purse of $60,000. Fillies and mares that are 3 years old and up. Profile of a 1 mile inner turf winner at Saratoga for the 2022 meet so far. 10 races split evenly between horses that get to the front and horses that come off the pace. 3 of the 10 looks to me, I don't know if it's 3 of the 10. I think 3 of the 10 went, it's either 3 or 0 went wire to wire. Let me double check that real quick, Terry, because I put 30 in there and it can't possibly be 30. Yes, because if it were 30, then that would be way too many, right? So I think they had 3 go wire to wire. Hold on, let me just double check to make sure. I apologize for on the spot editing. This is where you have to make sure you don't have any typos, right? Yes, 3 went wire to wire. My apologies on that. Just want to make sure we have accurate information. Post position so far, the rail is yet to win. Small discount from 2 through 7. 8 and out gets a big bonus, Terry. So you want higher number, the better. You're going to start with number 5. I think we have a lot of similar picks here today, too. So why do you like Golden Voice?
Well, did you want to show your sheet? Shows the pace?
I did. So I got all confused trying to catch up with how many times I screwed things up today. All right, so the only scratches in here today were the 2 main track entrants, as we mentioned. Sunny and beautiful today out in Saratoga Springs, New York. You have a couple horses in here with squares around them, meaning they should get paces that's set up comfortably for them for ways they've won races in the past. Our 1 horse over here is a left arrow horse, meaning it's a pressure closer horse that can run close to the front, close to the back, and still find a way to the winner's circle. But in this case, his early pace number suggests he'll be closer to the front without needing to put in any additional effort. All right, so now I got that out of the way, Terry. Thank you for reminding me. What are you going to put as your picks and why?
Okay, number 5 is my first pick, Golden Voice. She finished in the money in 4 out of 5 starts this year, winning 3 of those, and has a high percentage winning trainer. And then number 4, Adelaide. She has a change in jockeys and drops in class today. Then I like number 3, War Canoe. She has finished in the money in 4 out of 8 starts at Saratoga, drops in class today, has a high speed figure at today's distance, and her best start speed is fast as among today's starters. And then my 4th choice is number 6, Charge Account. She finished 4th in her last race, beating only 3/4 a length versus tougher in class, and she drops in class today. And the trainer jockey combination in the last 14 days has won 2 out of 5 starts.
I'm going to start with number 4 in race number 4. Adelaide Miss. This one likes to run 1 mile, Terry. Done it 5 times. Collected the oversized check in 3 of them with a second in there. At any other length, ran 9 times, just won once with a couple of thirds mixed in as well. First run in straight claiming, and trainer Brittany Russell, when she does that, hits at a nice 24%. War Canoe, the 3 horse, is the second choice. Just missed out last time at finding the winner's circle with improved late pace numbers. Is dropping to a class that I feel like is a better fit for War Canoe. Number 1, Jasminique, as I mentioned when we went through the worksheet, there is a left arrow horse. I think this one should be close to the front, and with the 2 main track only entrants out, does now acquire the spot of the top late pace horse as well. I wanted to actually move this one higher, but considering the rail is 0 for 10, I left it right where it is. And then finally, number 5, Golden Voice, seems to have found her form in 2022, out 5 times, managing to win 3 of them with a second, was the favorite for trainer Michael Maker in her last start. Rebounds at 22%, the trainer, but one thing that I'm a bit concerned is if I look at those internal numbers, I'm afraid the 5 horse may have peaked a couple races back, is in a down cycle, and I prefer to find horses that are in the up cycle. Race 5, 5.5 furlongs on the turf for a maiden race, Terry. This one is $105,000 at stake. 5.5 furlongs on the turf course. 24 races so far, 13 of the 24 from horses that came off the pace. So you would think at 5.5 furlongs, you want them zippy horses, but not today. Only 3 of which have gone wire to wire. Post positions played fair so far, 2 and 3, slightly discounted. 4 through 7 have gotten a bonus, and 8 and out a penalty. I think it's kind of weird in terms of how the post positions have played out. In race number 5, Terry, taking a look at our sheet here again, the 1 horse, which was a first-time starter. Not going to make its first-time start today, Terry. And the only horse in here that really gets any sort of comfort zone trip is the 2 horse. So the 2 horse is the one that needs probably the lead to win, and also has the late pace, one of the better late pace advantages. The 1 horse, which looks like to me like it can be up front or in the back, also has the top late pace numbers, but neither one really has such a decided advantage that you absolutely have to take those horses based upon some pace edge. This is your box it up in race number 5. And Terry, for a box it up, what do we do?
Well, we box it up for exacta for $1, and you do 50-cent trifecta where you box it, and then you box it up for the superfecta for a dime, and that's your box it up. So,
and what do you like about? Why do I have you as race 5 as your box it up? It's not race 5, is it?
Actually,
it is race 5. I just put the wrong number in there. Not race 7. It is race 5. So go ahead,
5.
Terry.
Yeah, I like this race because it's pretty competitive, and I think it's going to pay pretty good prices. So I like the number 1 horse, Java Buzz. He finished 3rd versus similar his last race, and has a trainer who wins 19% of the time in the races that in a second race after a layoff for a horse. Then I like number 5, Souza Summer. He is a speed horse who finished 3rd versus similar in his last race at 1.16 miles, but now he cuts back to 5 furlongs. I think that might just be the ticket. And his best turn speed is fast as among today's starters. Then I like number 6, Sue Farrell. He finished 3rd versus similar in his last race and may improve at the shorter distance. And then number 3, Rockets Red Glare is my 4th pick. He is a first-time starter whose breeding suits today's sprint distance, and he has a decent workout on July 24th.
All right, Terry, I corrected it. There's race number 5, not race number 7. I apologize for that typo, folks, or just a fat finger that hit the wrong key, which happens from time to time. So Corrected there, Terry. Box It Up is in race number 5, 1, 5, 6, and 3. For me, my picks in race number 5 look like this. I have the 2-horse as my top choice, which is going to absolutely screw up your Box It Up, Terry, if I'm right. So should I sacrifice on your account, Terry?
Oh, I don't know.
Nah.
But a lot of times I take your horse that I don't have and throw it in there. So,
all right. Well, the 2-horse upper level, I think this is one that's likely to show more in race number 2. If he's better, he should be on the front with enough late pace in here to stay there. Number 1, Java Buzz has the most late energy in the field, your top pick. Just missed last out. Did run some better times, not by a whole lot, but enough to be noticed. Should be better in the second off, a layoff. At worst, should be just as good as it was last time out. Number 1, Rockets Red Glare is a first-time starter with some decent works, getting ready for this spot. And then finally, number 5, Sousa Summer. Could be one of the favorites in here, I think, but so far it's had 8 chances to win already. It hasn't, so I'm going to give the advantage to the horses that have run fewer races, a little bit fresher, because we know who the 5 is. We may not know exactly who all the other horses are yet. Race number 6, Terry, right? That's where we're off to now. Race 6.
That's it.
Yes, indeed. Race 6 is a mile and a 16th on the inner turf. Again, another maiden spot. This one is for $88,000. A mile and a 16th, profile of a winner. 13 races. There is an absolute off-the-pace bias because 12 of the 13 were won by horses that came from the back of the pack, 0 of which have gone wire to wire. You get a rail bonus, 2 through 3, a little bit of a penalty, 4 through 7, a bonus, and then 8 plus is also a penalty. So all over the place, Terry, with the way the profile of a winner works out here. You like the 7-horse. I like the 7-horse. I think we like most of the same horses in here. Smoky Eyes. Why Smoke Eyes, Terry?
Well, did you want to go through your race?
Did I do one for this race? I'm not sure I have one for this race.
I'm not sure if you do.
Race 6, no, I don't have one for race 6.
All right.
Because of all the first-time starters in here.
That's true. Yeah, you're right. It's Smoky Eyes, number 7, my first pick, is she is a first-time starter, and she was purchased for $160,000. Her breeding suggests she'll like the grass. And then number 3, Collaboration. She is a first-time starter whose breeding suggests she'll also like the grass. Then number 4, Dream on Cara. She ran 4th in her debut race and has a trainer-jockey combination who in the last 14 days has a record of 3 starts, 2 wins. And then number 5, Lady Jasmine. She is a first-time starter whose breeding also suggests she'll like grass, and she has a good jockey trainer combination.
Smoky Eyes, looking at this race, Terry, it's just interesting to me trying to really find one in here I liked. I look at Smoke Eyes, this Smoky Eyes being one that I think maybe you can do like a Terry bet here, all 7 all on an exacta, because Clement and Pratt, they've only run together 9 times. They've finished in the money 100% of the time, so 9 out of 9. They've collected the winner's check in 3 of those. And as far as the first-time numbers are concerned, Clement has the best numbers in terms of the trainers here. Lady Jasmine, you have Johnny V and David Donk working together. They've won 2 out of 6 races, but generated an ROI of $8.32. And also, I like some of the workouts in this spot. Number 6, Sweetest Princess, Manny Franco, and George Weaver. Those 2 together, they've hit the board 4 times in 13 races, all of which were wins. So it's either all or nothing for Sweetest Princess. But if Sweetest Princess wins so far, that Franco-Weaver combination has a positive return on investment of $4.30. That's a big number. And then finally, number 3, Collaboration. I guess this is an IRAD we trust. So IRAD, and you got some decent workouts getting together for this spot. So we'll see if Collaboration has a shot to bring it in for race number 6, which I think is a pretty wide open race, Terry.
It is.
It's also the end, if I remember correctly, is it 3, 4, 5, and 6? Yes, it is the end of the opening pick 4, which is our hot dog pick 4s, where Terry and I have a $20 budget, and we have to put together a pick 4 ticket. I had the first 3 yesterday with some real nice payouts, but the back end of my hot dog did not come through. So let's see if we can get it done today. Terry's going to put all of his muscle behind a 2-horse in race number 3.
Well, yeah, that's your best bet, as you said. It looks pretty good. So I'm going to use a single in that race. Then I'm going to go 3 with 4 with 3.
Yes, I'm
Great.
just going to go 2-2-3-3. I would like to probably put more in that race number 6. I did think about singling the 2-horse there, but quite frankly, I have had not a lot of good luck with the 2 horses lately. I had 2 horses that wore number 2 that were both less than 1-to-1 odds that I singled on both of them, and they both disappointed me. So right now, call me irrational, but I'm not going to put a 2-horse solo until one proves it can do it for me, Terry.
Yeah, I agree. That sounds good to me.
So race number 7 is where we're going to go to next at Saratoga. But before we get to Saratoga, Terry, because it is your best bet of the day, you also have a best bet today over at Finger Lakes, if I remember correctly. Is that right?
I do, yes. It's a Finger Lakes. And let me tell you, my best bet of the day yesterday at Parks, the 7th race, number 1, He's Incredible, won that race. Paid $320 to win, $260 and $240, and my third choice ran third. But today I like it. Finger Lakes, race 5. I like number 4, Easy Shot. He comes in from Monmouth Park to try Finger Lakes and drops in class for this race. Number 2, Boldly. He won his last race at Finger Lakes and at today's distance. And then I like number 5, Preferred Outcome. He has finished in the money in 7 out of 7 races this year, and he's won one of those starts.
That's pretty effective, 7 out of 7, right?
It is.
You know who else has been hitting their best bets of the day, Terry?
Yes, the Professor
Sides with Picks with the Professor. I told you, it's hard to say Picks with the Professor 10 times fast, let alone one time right.
That's right.
Yesterday, we went with the Baltimore Orioles. They were plus 110. I think they took that home. They were a W, so that's 2 Ws in a row to start the week. So if you're going to bet some baseball, make sure you follow along with Picks with the Professor's play of the day. We do have a link right here in the description on YouTube, at Facebook, and on Twitter, along with a link to today's full YouTube show with Professor Sides, where he goes through the entire Major League Baseball card. But today, he says, take the St. Louis Cardinals at minus 166 against my Chicago Cubs. I don't think you could pay enough to minus 166 is a heavy favorite for the Cardinals, but I think you could put it minus 250 and it would still be a good value to bet against these Chicago Cubs, Terry.
Yep.
They haven't been the best. All right, so we went from your best bet for baseball, your best bet over at Finger Lakes today. Now we're going to do your best bet today at Saratoga in race number 7, Terry. Race number 7 is let me just pop that on here. Race 7 is a mile on the dirt course, Terry. So far, a mile on the main track, 7 races, not that many, 5 of which were won by speed, 2 of which went wire to wire. So far in the limited number of races, there has been a big rail bonus. 2 and 3 are a plus as well. A little bit of a discount 4 through 7. And so far, nobody's managed to bring home the winning check from 8 and out. Tiergan was going to be my best bet too, Terry. But then I saw that you made it your best bet, and I didn't want to jinx myself.
All right. All right.
Well, before we do that, man, whenever we introduce something new, I always have a little bit of a hard time remembering.
Yeah, I was just going to remind you. So.
Yeah, right. So 5 and 6 are boxed, meaning the E means horses that have won when they've been on the lead, and that's the only way they've won recently. EP are horses that have won from the lead or close to the lead, so maybe first, second, or third within a length of the leader, but also have shown that they can go wire to wire. Pressure horses have won, but they only win if they're like second or third, a length and a half away from the leader. And then you got the pressure closers. They can win from the front, the middle, or the back. Usually not on the lead, but sometimes they show that they can win on the lead as well. So the 5 should be your pace setter. The 6 horse should be right behind. The 3 horse here, Terry's best bet, is a pressure horse. So he'll probably sit third, maybe right off these guys, maybe in between. But what we have here is an LP and a plus mark, Terry, meaning the 3 horse, Tiergan, has more than a 5-point advantage or more with its late pace figures. And quite frankly, in this race, Terry, there's really not a whole lot of difference in terms of the early pace either for the 3. So I think he's going to be hugging the leaders and then have a chance to run by him. Is that why you made it your best bet?
It is. I like number 3, Terror again. Is my best bet. He ran second in his last race, and he was only beaten a neck. So he has the highest last race speed figure at today's. I'm sorry. He has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and his best start speed is the fastest among today's starters. And then I like number 6, Bluet. He has won 2 of his last 3 races and has a win at Saratoga, so he can compete on that track. Number 2 is Daddy Knows. He has finished in the money in 2 out of 4 races at Saratoga, winning one of those starts. And then number 5, Bar 14. He is a speed horse who finished third in his last race at a mile 16th, and now he cuts back to a mile, which I think will help.
Yeah, I like as I mentioned, I like the 3-horse 2 Tiergan as my top choice here. Was going to be my best bet till you made it yours. Does have a late leg advantage over everybody else here. The early pace isn't so fast that they're going to get away. Should hug the leaders. Did run the top last race speed figure, and so far 1 for 1 at the Spa. Ran at the distance so far 13 times. Finished in the money 11 of 13 times. Showed some better late punch in the last race, and of course the classic third start off for the bench. Number 6, Bluet, has a wide variety or wide variance in its racing numbers. Sometimes pops some really good speed numbers, sometimes puts some really horrible ones on the track. So that roller coaster horse, if it's at its best, wins. If it's at its worst, loses big. So it's a big winner or a big loser, probably not a whole lot in between. Daddy Knows did run much better fractions last out and pace figures. I do like to see that. I think this is another one that stands to be better in its third start after a layoff. And then finally, number 5, Bar 14. We have the same exact horses in the same exact order again. Goes back to dirt where he has the ability, or at least shown the ability, to get to the front and take the field from wire to wire. Race 8 is the first time today, Terry, I think we're going to see a 7-furlong race. It is 7 furlongs on the main track, for claiming $50,000. And so far, at 7 furlongs, they've only run 9 races at the awkward distance, 6 of which were won by speed. 3 of those 6 went wire to wire. Do get a small rail penalty. 2 and 3 play fair. 4 through 7 are a little under par, and 8 and out have a bonus. This is my box it up in race number 8. I'm going to put, and I was contemplating making this first horse in here, Terry, my long shot of the day. But if we take a look at race number 8, I have a couple things going on here in race number 8. We have a left arrow horse. So horse to 8 horse should get a pace that's comfortable for it. Usually it's a pressure closer type, but the early pace figure suggests it's going to be amongst the leaders. The 5 and the 4 also should get comfortable paces. 5 having a chance to be the leader. 4 horse probably playing co-pilot. And then you see the 5 horse in here carrying the best late legs as well. So for me, in terms of my box it up, I'm going to go with the 1 horse as the top of that ticket. Hold on, that's the wrong button there. This is the right one. Silipo, Terry. This one did run the top last race speed figure and has 3 decent works in between that speed figure and today's start. He's had a trip over to Saratoga course and ended up finding the winner's circle. So maybe he's going to make it home second time in 2 tries at Saratoga. Has run the odd 7 furlongs twice with a win and a second. And on a fast track, the horse has thrived. 7 times out on a fast track, 3 wins, 2 seconds, and a third. As I mentioned, it's beautiful in Saratoga Springs today. It's going to be a fast track. Number 5, Dots Dollar. This one I think should be on the lead and also has the top late pace. But neither are really big advantages. This guy's been had jockey Javier Castellano on him twice, Terry, and Javier's guided him to the finish line first in both of those races. Number 3, Buckingham Prince comes in from Churchill Downs. The resume says to expect more from this horse in the second race out of the barn. And then finally, Marvin Hagler. And I find what's interesting in this race, Terry, is that you have Marvin Hagler. So you have Hagler, not Marvin Hagler, and another horse in here named Sugar Gray Leonard.
Yeah.
And you remember they had that classic fight, Marvin Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray got the verdict in that race. Today, Hagler gets the verdict. This is a roller coaster horse, much better across the board in the last, and has a lot of workouts in between races. The best race for Hagler makes easy work of this field. But the problem with Hagler is much like that night against Sugar Ray Leonard. Didn't really throw in a stinker, but did let Sugar Ray get the better of him that night, Terry. That's my box it up. What are your picks for race 8?
Well, I like number 1 Slippo too, and I thought about making that my long shot of the day. But anyway, he finished in the money in 5 out of 6 last starts, and he's won 2 of those. Has a win, 1 out of 1 at Saratoga, so he's perfect at Saratoga. Number 8 Hagler, he has won 3 out of 7 career races, winning the last one at Pimlico. Number 5 is Dots Dollar, is my third pick. He has won 2 out of the last 3 races. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters. He has a trainer jockey combination who in the last 14 days has won 2 out of 5 starts. And then number 3, Buckingham Prince. He ran second versus similar in his last race and can go to the front or come from off the pace to win a race, which is an angle I really like.
Yes, so E.F. Hutton of Horse Racing has spoken. Charles says in race number 7, horse that neither of us have, Terry, the 4 horse conserves energy, gets up at the wire.
Oh, wow.
Well, as long as he finishes second by a nose at the wire, Charles, we're all right with that. All right, so race number 8, Terry, is done. Now we're going to go on to race number 9, where we have a mile and a 16th on the turf course. Mile and a 16th, 8 races, 6 won from off the pace. None have managed to take the field from wire to wire. You have a very strong rail bias. 2 for 3 also get a bonus. So it looks like the inside 3 horses have a little bit of edge. 4 through 7 are penalized, and then you have a 8 plus being fair. You have the 1 and the 1A here as a duo. Both look like they have enough back class to win this race. It is morning line 1-1 for the entry. I suspect it's probably going to be more like 3-5, Terry, maybe even 2-5, 1-5. What do you think that entry is going to look like in race number 9?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's going to be a really hard favorite. So, I like both horses as well.
Yeah, I think the thing is either one of them can win. So that's the thing that makes it difficult to go against, because you're getting 2 horses that both are likely winners.
Yep.
So anyway, you did decide to go against it with the 6 horse. Tell us why.
Okay, I like the 6 horse.
Wait. I know why you're waiting now, Terry.
Yeah.
I figured it out. All right. So race number 9, you have the 2 horse. Again, the boxed horses here are horses that should get paces that they're comfortable with based upon ways they've won in the past. You have 3 left arrow horses over here, the 6, the 5, and the 7. The 2 horse, unfortunately, doesn't have a box around it. So the 2 horse needs the lead to win. And I think it's unlikely that the 2 horse actually gets the lead today. So if you can't get the lead, it's struggled to win in the past. And then you have the 1 and the 1A, both of which can be close to the pace. The 1, I think, can't really fall off of the pace and have a chance to win. Whereas the 1A, I think, could be anywhere on the track and still have a chance to win. So I think between the 2, I'd prefer just on the versatility, the 1A in the event 1 scratches by the time they get to post. All right. You like the 6 horse, Terry, who is a left arrow horse. And you know those left arrow horses have been doing us well.
Yeah, I do. And Bramble Bay has finished in the money in 4 out of her last 6 races, and she's won 2 of those. This distance won't be a problem, as she's shown in the past. Then I like the number 1 Rocky Sky. He finished 4th, beaten only a length and a quarter as versus similar in his last start. And her best turf speed is fastest among the starters, today's starters. She has a trainer jockey combination who in the last 14 days have been in the money 9 out of 12 times, winning 3 of those. And then if she gets scratched, I want to use 1A American Bridge. If Rocky Sky is scratched, he showed speed in she showed speed in her last race, but faded at the end in a 1.25 mile race and cuts back to 1 mile and 16th, which I think will help. And I like number 4.
Huh? I'm sorry, go ahead. You have one more to go.
Yeah, I like number 4, Polka Mocha. She finished second in her last race, and then she won the. She finished second in the race before the last one with jockey Joel Rosario in the irons, and he returns again to Ryder. Then my 4th pick is number 7, Just Oppose. She has been knocking on the door, finishing in the money in the last 2 races, closing to finish 3rd in her last race at 1 mile, and now stretches out to 1 mile 16th, which I think will help.
So Charles says, we messed up again in race number 8. Says no love for the 7 off a layoff stakes horse on drop, will not upset today, fit and ready. When I looked at that with Manny Franco on there, one thing about Iron Lion in Zion is getting the first time Lasix. I'm really a bigger fan of first time Lasix, Charles, on speed horses. And I'm also a bigger Manny Franco fan on horses that get towards the front as well. Maybe the horse gets to the front in the debut, showed a little bit of interest for the first quarter of a mile and then backed up. The jockey switched to Manny Franco. Again, if the horse had shown some early speed, I probably would have thought about putting him in here. But it hasn't shown it yet. Workouts getting ready. A decent one on July 15th. But I'm going to want to see something from this horse. The only thing I could say is that it did get a win at the distance in its second start. But again, I'm a bigger fan of horses that get the Lasix that are up front, not towards the back. And I am a much bigger fan of Manny Franco towards the front than the back. I just feel like he's a better rider on the closer to the front than he is in terms of timing that to get to the wire at the end. Just my opinion. Manny probably would hit me over the head with a shoe or something if I told him that with a horseshoe. Doink. Anyway, maybe change my, knock some sense into me. But for me, the 1 and the 1A, Terry, as I mentioned, both of these horses, either one of them could win. You got Flavian Pratt, you have Irad Ortiz, you have Chad Brown. I feel like one of these two, I wouldn't even be surprised if the end it goes 1-1A, 1A1 at the finish line. Number 3, Princess Fazia. This horse is really consistent. The numbers are just about the same race after race after race. As Tom says, going to win? Probably not. The last time I said that about one of these consistent horses, it actually did win. Has run at Saratoga 3 times with 2 seconds. But the one thing I like about these horses that are really consistent, basically run their same race over and over and over and over again. A, you're going to get an honest effort out of the horse. But B, it means that the other horses are going to have to perform to beat it. So I like that the fact that the 3 horses is going to hold everybody accountable. Number 6, Bramble Bay is a left arrow horse. Terry, as we talked about, had much, much, much faster fractions last time out at Monmouth and had a pretty strong Z pattern where the early pace figures really popped up. Of course, kind of had a little lull in the middle of the race and then really popped up on the back end of the race too. And some of these, I've been noticing in my notes when I put that Z pattern in there, some of these horses have done really well. And then finally, number 5, Movie Moxie was a really hard call for me over the 2 horse in this spot, one that neither one of us has, but it is a left arrow horse making the first grass go. Best speed numbers in here were in routes for that horse, and actually some of the better speed numbers for any horse in this race. And the off-track record suggests that this horse will like the race. And a lot of times, if you're looking at a horse making its first start on the turf, take a look at that off-dirt record because it can be a clue. Sometimes all weather as well can be a clue of how they'll make that transition from dirt or all weather to grass. I'm hoping Movie Moxie can make that transition as well. All right, Terry, let's see. Saratoga. Fade all speed today. They tire before the wire at Saratoga. Charles is saying on the dirt. Last race of the card today at Saratoga, Terry, on hump day. Is race number 10. Race number 10 being a 7-furlong race, claiming $16,000, non-winners of 2 lifetime. As we mentioned earlier, they've only run 9 races at this in-between distance, 6 of which were won by speed. Charles says, don't bank on that today. 3 of which went wire to wire. You do get a small penalty if you ride from the rail. 2 and 3 are fair. 4 through 7, a little underwater. 8 plus, you get a little bit of a bonus. This is my long shot in here today, Terry, in race number 10. Looking at race number 10, this card got completely screwed up for me because of all the scratches. The left arrow horse 2 is gone. The left arrow horse 3 is gone. The 1A, another left arrow horse is out. The 6 horse 1 being that had some late pace, got knocked out of this race as well. So you really have a lot of horses that are probably going to be competitive running in a similar situation. I'm going to go with the 9 horse in here, Terry, as my long shot of the day. That horse is Bar Koi. You have Orlando Noda, who wins 32% of the time with this horse making its second start off the claim for Orlando. His best 3 races that he's run so far would make him an easy winner. 2 bad races mixed in, they would not make him anywhere near the finish line first. But this horse has some good works getting ready for that second race off the claim for Orlando Noda. I think he's like 6-1 morning line. I'm going to give him a really good shot to win this race, Terry. You don't even have him in your picks, so I am very confident he's going to win.
All righty. Well, I like number 11, Cathedral Beach, is my first pick. He has some good workouts, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. And then number 4 is my second pick, Jinsu Warrior. He drops in class today, and the trainer wins 25% of the races when dropping a horse down 2+ classes. And then I like number 8, Arthurian. He won his last race at Mountaineer and has decent workouts. And then number 10 is my 4th pick, Flipping Fun. He finished in the money in 2 out of 2 starts at Saratoga, and is a closer who will appreciate the additional furlong in this race. And actually, 2 of my best horses in this race were scratched, so had to really scramble to get these picks.
So we can get up and get started close to the start time. All right, Terry. So to finalize my picks for the last race, number 11, Cathedral Beach is my second choice. This guy is making his first start off the claim for trainer George Weaver. Every single time we've had a trainer on, and in our Ask Charles section, when he was asked about claims, Mr. Charles said, pay attention to the horses off the claim because trainers tend to target a specific race, and every trainer we've talked to has confirmed that. So George wins at 23%, first time around the track with a new horse off the claim. This horse also has what we call the Eddie C angle around here. It means he had a bullet workout 2 workouts ago, then a maintenance workout, now heads to the track. And this is a horse that's run one time at the quirky distance of 7 furlongs and managed to win that race. Jinsu Warrior has a second at the distance, is dropping multiple classes for trainer Thomas Morley, who wins at an above average rate for that. And then I'm closing it out with Arthurian as a horse that moved into the 4th position for me off of scratches, Terry. And that's also the last race on the card, meaning it is our prime rib pick 4, where we get to spend Terry money. You're going to, once again, load up on the front end and hope to catch something in the back end.
That's right. I'm going to go with 2 horses in the first leg. And, I think that's those are actually the only 2 they're going to win. You actually had those 2 as your first 2 picks too. And then I go with 5 horses with another 5 with 4.
So Terry, maxing out the budget at $100. I'm going to go 3 by 4 by 4 by 4. I think if anywhere we're going to really bump this ticket up, it's going to come in race number 9. If the 1 or the 1A gets defeated and somebody comes in behind him and wins that race, because I think that's going to be where a lot of the singles are, Terry. So that's why I put 4 there, hoping that somehow the 1 or 1A gets beat. That would be the worst. This card is the worst since they started running at the meet. These are the basement horses today. Charles does not like this card at all. He does like the 9 in race number 10. So hopefully I'm right about that. Charles, sometimes those funny cards are the ones that reward you the best, though, right? Because if it's bottom basement horses, as you say, then a lot of times you can get some upsets in those horses, which means you get some good odds.
That's right.
Last night, as we mentioned, they were talking about testicles and all sorts of things on the Horse Center show. I don't know that trainer Scott Speed's going to be talking about that this evening, but hey, now that I'm not there, I don't know what's going to go on, Terry. But you can tune in at 8 p.m. for the conversation with Jamie and Sean with Scott Speed. It should be a wide-ranging interview because Scott's done had a lot of success in the horse racing business. So make sure you tune in for that tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. To make sure that you do that, the easiest way is to subscribe while you're here on Horse Racing Radar TV on YouTube. Hit the like button. Also, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Horse Race Today. Retweet, thumbs up, love, all that kind of good stuff. We appreciate that. Want to say thank you to Chris Tehan for the love on Facebook. If you agree with Chris and you like what we did, please, again, give us a thumbs up. And today, later on in the day, well, Terry, not later on, but coming up pretty soon, your best bet of the day today was at Finger Lakes.
That's right.
It's also our free track today over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. There is a link in the description on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube. Please use that link or any that you'll find at horseracingtoday.net so they know where you're coming from, and you'll see Finger Lakes is the free track of the day today. And number 4, Starship Oreo. Terry, is the first pick in race number 1. That's the 4-horse at 4-1 morning line odds. So a little bit of value there, Terry.
Good. Yeah, let's see. Let's hope it wins.
Yeah, well, that's the idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good luck to you as well, Charles. So I think, Terry, I don't think I missed anything this morning. Did I miss anything?
No, I think you got everything just right.
Well, a couple times I missed out on the my new telestrator. I'm gonna have to come up with a name for that has something to do with horse racing.
Yeah, I'd like a new name so I know what you call it. So I don't.
So you know what the hell I'm talking about for once. I
I
confuse you with my picks, and then I confuse you with my papers. I'm just a confusing kind of guy. All right, Terry. Well, you and I will be back tomorrow. This I know to do Del Mar, same time, 12 o'clock Eastern. Again, tonight, make sure you check in Scott Spieth with Jamie and Sean. That's going to be a great show. Tomorrow night, we'll be covering in the Players Edge podcast the West Virginia Derby with track announcer. That's going to be a lot of fun as well. Friday, Foreign Fridays, Tom and I will be back to cover the Curragh. That will be at 1 o'clock Eastern. Make sure you tune in for that. Saturday, our Eddie C and Chris P once again will do their spot plays, probably live from Saratoga. That's at 9 a.m. Eastern. You don't want to miss that, Terry. Outside of that, any final words before we get out of here?
No, just take it easy. Don't get too concerned about anything. If you get too serious about things in life, you're going to maybe run into some stress. So, just give your loved ones a good love and have a great rest of the day on the downside. And I'll see you tomorrow.
Downside of the week. That's right. Because it's hump day, yes, indeed. Not that we're on the downside, but
no, downside of the week after hump day.
After hump day, indeed, for sure. Though, certainly, I feel some days like I'm on the downside, but hopefully today's on the upside for us at Saratoga. No matter if you're playing Saratoga, Terry's best bet at Finger Lakes. Guaranteed tip sheets are all of our picks over there at Finger Lakes. The professor's best bet of the day. The St. Louis Cardinals against the Cubs. Yeah, that's probably a lock. I just jinxed the professor. I apologize. No matter what it is, make every second count today, Terry, and make sure that no matter what you do, it ends up in
the winner's circle.
Absolutely. Have a fantastic hump day. We'll see you tomorrow for some California racing.